For young adults, financial independence looms on the horizon like uncharted waters waiting to be explored. Exciting and maybe just a little bit scary too, but don't worry, guys. Our guest today will help navigate all of this. School's First Federal Credit Union has insights for the 20-something crowd setting sail on life's financial journey. Here to help us is Nathan Calhoun, Madison Branch Manager for Schools First. Welcome back, Nathan.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. So, Nathan, what words of wisdom would you offer to that young person kind of just starting out their journey into financial independence?
Yeah, just getting started, it might be your first taste with full financial independence, and that may be a little overwhelming. The thing is, really, even when you're young and just getting going, there are some great habits that you could set up that will set you up for long-term financial success. It's essentially just kind of knowing what are the habits to adopt and kind of understanding the things that can affect your financial life and why they're important. A great example of that is some young people may not understand why maintaining a credit score can really just affect your entire financial life.
So, and why should young adults pay attention to building a good credit score, like you mentioned, and how can they kind of set sail in the right direction?
Well, I think we all know, a good credit score helps you get approved on loans that you may want, right? Your things like auto loans, credit cards, even home loans. But they may not understand that having a good credit score will help you get the best interest rates on those, thus paying the least amount of interest. The other thing to factor in is that your credit report can be a factor in when you're trying to go out and get a lease on an apartment. It's even used in the hiring process at certain employers. So if you're young and you're just getting going and you're looking to establish credit for the first time, a great product to think about is a credit card. You're eligible to get one for, in most places at the age of 18. Go out, put in your application. A lot of people, that is their first credit product. Just remember, once you have the credit card, it's very important. You want to make all your timely payments.
Yes.
Make sure you're always getting your payments in on time, or even better, pay your entire monthly balance off every single time.
Yeah, we definitely want to make sure we're doing that. And what vital habits should young people anchor themselves to?
I think a great one for people to do when they're getting going is to create their first budget. When you think about a budget, you kind of start with what is your take-home income? Monthly, this is the amount I'm bringing in. And then you're going to subtract out all your monthly bills. This is your rent, your transportation costs, groceries, maybe any other necessary medical bills, things of this nature. Once you get past all that and you've backed out all those bills, you now have your discretionary spending left over. It's now time to understand, what am I going to use for things for fun? What's going out to the movies? How often am I dining out with friends? When am I just having fun with my money, and how much do I want to earmark for that? But you also want to do another very necessary step, which is earmark some for savings on a monthly basis.
Okay, and any tips on how to navigate savings successfully?
Well, a couple things you can do. You think about savings in the short term, you think about savings in the long term. Long term, you're thinking about maybe saving for retirement. Folks getting going, they're younger, maybe they're, at an employer now that offers a employee-sponsored contribution style retirement account. These things where if the employee contributes to those accounts, the employer will also match up to a certain amount. But if you don't match, or if you don't contribute, the employer won't match, which means you're leaving earnings on the table. So this is a great way to save money for your future, and it's never too early to get started on your retirement savings, and also tap into another path of income with your employer. The other thing to think of is an emergency fund. A lot of folks out there, if something goes wrong, maybe you need a major repair on your car, and some major item in your home goes south, you're going to need to replace it. It'll be really stressful to have to also go out and apply for credit in that situation. So you're going to want to have something just in your regular savings account available to tap into for those cases.
Alrighty, and in addition, debt is something that can accrue over time. So what strategies should young adults use to stay afloat and help build their financial independence?
You think about the debt you take on, and I fully acknowledge that it can be really difficult. We talked about that budget, and sometimes it's just hard to stay within the budget. And there's this allure, because a lot of consumers out there get offers all the time, I know I do, for new credit cards. I think just really you're going to want to be very discerning with your credit and how much you're obtaining. Be very careful of getting credit cards that maybe have terms that don't benefit you. Really look at the credit accounts, look at the terms, say, is this the right credit card for me? Understand what the payments are going to do downstream. You know, if you actually take credit out, how is that going to fit within your budget? Also think about these programs that you see a lot, the buy now, pay later programs that are out there, where you go, you buy an item, but maybe you don't necessarily pay for all of it, and there are installments. Even if it's 0%, make sure you understand that what if I don't make a payment? Are there penalties? Are there going to be fees that apply at that point?
Okay, all helpful tips. Nathan,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Alrighty, and you can visit one of the many Schools First Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen, and you can find out more online by going to SchoolsFirstFCU.org.